Okay, here's the first of the Schopenbeard saga. It's called Beard and Philosophy. Here we go. Beards and Philosophy. Greetings, tidings, and salutations, my fellow beard junkies. I decided to share my own encounter with a magnificent neckbeard, whom we shall call Schopenbeard. Anyways, grab yourself a glass of dew and some Doritos, and on with the first entry of the saga of Schopenbeard. First, let's introduce the cast. OP. That's me. I'm a bit shy, and apt to only speak when deemed appropriate. I'm 6'1", a little muscular, pale as a sheet, short brownish blonde hair, and dressed to differentiate myself with my pot-smoking, indigenous clothes-wearing colleagues, i.e. button-up shirt, dress jacket, and etc. At the time of this saga, I was a philosophy major in a university, with my passion for weird music, Mongolian throat singing, Turkish post-punk, bossa nova, you get the picture. I like video games, mostly RPGs, tabletop games like D&D and Star Wars, and of course, philosophy. My friend Mr. Wild, he's actually my best friend from the university. He's 6'1" as well, very skinny. He's got long black hair and also of the pale, but more yellowish skin than me. He is also a philosophy major with nerdy interest, though not video games or tabletop games. He has a curiosity in theology and the occult, and literally dressed like Oscar Wilde. He is one of those Aspergers that are insanely smart, though lacking in social and emotional IQ. He gets straight A's with little to no effort. Then we got our neckbeard, Schopenbeard. He's 6'3", quite a tall fellow. He's also fat, but he's stocky due to the fact that he practiced Taekwondo. He's got brown skin, a black ponytail, dresses in anime stamped t-shirts, and a dress jacket. Thank God that later he bought a button shirt. He also wore cargo pants, and yes, an actual neckbeard. There was no fedora or trilby, sadly. But imagine the neckbeard from Powerpuff Girls with brown skin and stockier, and that's him. His hygiene was okay, although he had the characteristic coffee and cigarette smell that most of us philosopher students had. He was also majoring in philosophy, but he entered a year after me. He had many obsessions, like One Piece, gross sexual commentaries, and jokes, probably hentai. He loved black humor, borderline hate humor, plus hating feminism and women entitlement, and Schopenhauer, hence his nickname. Now, if you know philosophy, you will know that his philosopher hero was even more of a misogynist than the master of edge, Nietzsche. Despite this, he was never rude with me or Mr. Wild, probably because we were male, and he saw us as his intellectual equals. Yes, he had a very high opinion of his intelligence. He had a superiority complex, although he indeed was smarter than average, and the classic atheistic euphoria. His awareness of social cues was, I kid you not, non-existent. He had boundary issues, personal space, and crushing handshakes. He loved inappropriate commentaries and jokes, and an inability to understand social situations. His laughter was like a strident shriek, a thunder from Zeus himself, that you could hear from across the university. Now with the cast presented, on with the first encounter with this beard. Beards and Philosophy. Here we go. It was a cold morning in uni. As usual, I was early to most classes, since I lived very close to my university, even the 7 a.m. ones. Mr. Wild was also close. We would always stop by the local coffee shop, talking about the usual philosophy ramblings, our professors, our colleagues, and etc. We were there for a while. Then we headed to our classroom, Metaphysics 101. There we saw the beast. He was sitting hunched over, reading Love, Women, and Death. Yes, Schopenhauer, while plugged to his one-piece giant earbuds. He was parading his neckbeard and ponytail, proudly, dressed in an anime t-shirt with a jacket. He had on cargo pants and H&M casual shoes. At first, he didn't seem to notice us, so we proceeded to the classroom to keep on rambling. As we put our bags in the front row, We saw the ripples in the water bottles. Fearing the impending encounter, we turned around and we saw him, waddling straight for us to the front row. He plopped his backpack down in the chair next to me. Mind you, the classroom was near empty, as usual for a morning class. He said while extending his hand for a shake,
"Wow. Hello. My name is Schopenbeard. Nice to meet you."
He was nice and polite, so I proceeded to shake his hand. My hand suffered the crushing force of this great white shark bite. Holding my ground and trying to ignore it, I say,
Hey, my name's OP. Nice to meet you. Are you new in philosophy?
He answered with a chuckle,
"Yes, well, I've read most philosophers, and I've written very good essays, so I'm here."
At this moment, Mr. Wilde was sitting next to me, not knowing what to do in true Aspie fashion. So I introduced him to the beard.
This is Mr. Wilde.
With an awkward smile, he raised his hand in greeting to the beard. He is germophobic. "Hi, nice to meet you." And with a straight face, he continued,
"Is this your girlfriend, OP?"
Mr. Wilde and I are straight, and I'm still crushing on a girl from school. We were silent, and the beard unleashed his laughter to the sky as if he was trying to reach Mount Olympus.
"I'm just kidding, OP. It's the hair and the starving African physique."
I answered with a brief fake chuckle, while hiding my cringe face. Thank God the teacher arrived, and class began. Luckily, the class was uneventful. After it, he beelined to the teacher, and began asking him questions, and praising him profusely, sucking up at its best. We took the chance to get away from him, and we went back to the coffee shop. We stayed for at least 10 minutes, and then we went to our next class. As we approached the building, we heard the unmistakable voice of Schopenbeard, and Mr. Wilde said, "OP, let's run, now." I stopped since I didn't like to be rude and ignore people. Mr. Wilde dropped his cigarette, and he went straight into the building.
"Hey, OP, wait up. Are you going to History of Modern Philosophy?"
After taking a puff of my cigarette, I answer,
Yes, Schopenbeard. I'm just gonna finish my cigarette before class.
"That's good. I was planning on smoking one myself while I contemplate the sexy female cattle. The best so far have been the cattle from med school."
I cringed on the inside, but I kept a poker face, and I said,
Oh, okay, I guess.
He proceeded,
"Yes, they might be dumb, but I wouldn't mind dunking and see that one with the blonde hair? Super suckalicious."
Literal translation from the word that he used in our native language. Too much cringe for me, so I just said,
Oh, look at the time. I'm gonna be late. See ya.
"See, OP."
and proceeded to ignite a cigarette and kept on creeping. After that cringy and revolting interaction, I went to my class. As I always do, I sat in the front row, where Mr. Wilde was seated, reading poems from the damned poets, like Baudelaire. And surprise, surprise, Schopenbeard once again waddled up to us, plopped his backpack on the seat next to mine.
Oh, are you in this class too, Schopenbeard?
Indeed, OP. Though I do gotta say, the cattle here is very ugly, very disappointing.
Saved again by my teacher, who arrived immediately before his lecture, which was uneventful. After the class, Mr. Wilde and I bolted, while Schopenbeard sucked up to the other teacher, as usual. Although most philosophy students like doing so, Mr. Wilde and I quickly left university, and we proceeded to go back to our homes. That was our first encounter with Schopenbeard. Many of them are filled with disgusting and demeaning comments to women. I'm no feminist, much less third-wave feminism, but his openly misogynistic commentaries were very unpleasant, to say the least. Thank you guys for joining me for this edition of the Neckbeard Experience, Schopenbeard. This is the beginning. I'm going to do every one of them right in a row. I've already got 2 of them done and they're uploaded to Patreon, so 3 of them's already completed. They're able to hear them as soon as they come out. Those don't have the voiceovers in them. They're just mine. But I haven't forgotten you guys. I didn't want to be away for too long, so I'm going to go ahead and release these episodically. And they're not going to be far apart since I've got so much done already. They're going to be probably within the month. I'm going to have all 5 of them out. I hope you guys enjoy. The next one is going to be The Bearded Shadow, and I'll have that up shortly. Hope you guys enjoy. And until next time, this is Dallas signing off.